Alrighty, let's take a look. Let's configure this stuff. Cool. Properties, sure, MV7, sure. Let's try media broadcast instead. Broadcast. It's removable. Okay, cool. That's fine. Alrighty, I don't know if anyone joined. If someone joined, just type something in chat, please. Let's just make sure that everything's fine and that test, yeah, should be okay. Limiter, compressor, yeah, that's okay. Great. Music. Peak now. Okay. Hero, my friend, hey. Good to see you, my dude. Can you hear me well and is everything fine? I'm just starting the stream now. Is everything okay? Music, sound, everything. Let me know. The microphone is is microphone quiet or something else, or the music? Microphone, okay, that's weird. Yeah, but the gain is, are you sure that your volume is not down? The gain of the microphone is like really high. But also there's noise. Okay, let me just move it back to this thing here. Yeah, it should be fine. Just make sure also that you're yeah, I think so. I mean, the gain of the microphone is very, very high, so I think it could be easily that as well. Yes. All right. So if I actually go to production, give me 1 second. Let me just kind of pin. Simplaren, hey, thank you very much for coming. Let me just kind of see if the commands actually work now. They do. Amazing. Let's kind of pin that there. And yeah, let's see, what did I write for the event today? Okay, so let's kind of already start before people join and start asking questions. So essentially, what I want to finish today is something not very relevant, but yesterday we were doing. So when you click on this, my network manager, yeah, but this is my network manager. That's not what I want. So yeah, I guess I'm the only one who can see these things on LinkedIn. But anyway, yeah, let's kind of open up cursor and start doing something, and then we'll see where it takes us. Then we see where it takes us. Waiting for the cursor to open. Come on, you can do it. Cursor, where are you, cursor? Okay, here. Okay, let's do kind of this. Great. Okay, very good. Okay. And I don't use Next.js, no. I use plain React. I also don't use, I build my own authentication, so I don't use most of these things that you kinda, that you wrote. And it's absolutely irrelevant what you use. I think everything that you wrote there is fine enough. So you would need to explain what is the problem you're trying to solve and what are you building. So I would say, yeah, you don't need to use any of that, but that depends. If you're a beginner, then you need to use all of that, right? So that depends, right, on many different things, right? What it is that you're building, why, etc., right? So I cannot just randomly suggest technology, right? These tools exist to solve different problems. Okay, cool. So let's kind of start somewhere. So first and foremost, pagination using infinite scroll view isn't properly working. Never pass the first page. Let's just start the stream with something silly like this, and then we see. Okay. Additionally, 1 second, Kirill, with you in a moment. Some of the user data is missing, either due to wrong schema, due to wrong response schema in our Fastify API or something else. As you can see in the UI, avatar is missing. Apart from that, the view you built has way too much spacing. Space is not. Okay, so let's just solve these boring things with AI. Then we're gonna do something. How's the meetup feature coming along? No, I mean the meetup feature is the first version is finished. I mean, as you can see, we're already using it. So this is in production. So it's already works, and people who are part of the meetup get already out people are already getting notifications when I go live. They get an email. So I think the version 1 is done. Now it's just over time, you know. Version 1, when I say, I mean the features that I need or someone else would need, they're here, right? As you can see, this is our meetup now, our actual page. Have the members, we have everything. There's notifications about it. You get over email. I need to actually fix just the template in our notification, because I saw this morning when I organized today's event that there's like you can see like we need to so let's start also there while our agent is doing some work on the side for us. Let's utilize the time as best as we possibly can. Give me 1 second. Let me just get my two-factor authentication here. SendGrid 2807883. I reached out to the guys, to the main product manager at Cloudflare, to give me early access to their new email service that they're gonna release, but they didn't answer. Bastards. Very uncool. Because I want to drop this SendGrid because it's just wasting money for no reason. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'll just kind of nuke this. Let's update it. Let's do the preview. And let's just remove anything that doesn't have to be here. So type and location as well. We don't really need that. Let's just minimize. Where's the... I'm trying to find ready-made solutions for full-stack development so I don't waste time reinventing the wheel. I'd like to get started quickly with core logic instead of spending time things the others have already built. Fair enough. I agree. Yes, that's why I liked Laravel. Now I need a simple inventory management system with authentication. That is fair enough. I mean, nothing wrong that you said there per se. I think that makes total sense. It seems that you want some opinionated framework, not a library, but rather framework. And indeed, Laravel is framework, and it's good at that for sure, right? No question about that. Now I don't understand why do you need Next.js with Laravel. That's a massive, or anything like that. I mean, you should either use, I'm sure that Laravel has something that the Laravel community uses. I know that Laravel community likes to write Angular a lot, if I remember, and Vue.js as well. But that doesn't matter. I mean, Laravel is a full-fledged backend, so you should kind of utilize that and maybe write an SPA, single page app, like just with plain React or plain any library, I would say. But again, if you just want to have a framework, like you said, to build quick things and try them out, that's great. If you want to build a large, like, actually, let's just stop there. So I think, yeah, Laravel is fine. Anything is fine, right? I mean, there's a bunch of these things. For example, Matteo Collina, who built Fastify, he has something called Matteo Collina. What was his? Wait, let me just find it for you. So there's some. I don't typically use these things, right? But you know, like I build my own stuff. I build my own systems because I care about COGS and cost of goods sold. So I don't pay for third-party stuff for the most part for things. But there, you also have this. Something like this, very interesting as well, worth giving. I'm actually probably gonna invite Matteo once to the stream, just to kind of interview him, and so maybe he can give us a rundown against the Platformatic. But this is also amazing, and also something good. So that depends which language you want. But you can see he has a bunch of examples as well. I will definitely do that soon. I just need to plan it and need to get the time to do it. But I'll get him to the stream and he can maybe build something in the stream with us. Yeah, but this is also, yeah, something to... Okay, anyway, let's get back here. Let's see what the AI has done. Okay, that looks reasonable, at least to my eye. Let's take a look at that actually in locally. So if we get over, okay. Let's just fix that mismatch in schema and the actual ORM. Okay. Okay. So let's see, let's start kind of with something as simple as that. So let's see what we've done. So we've just updated the schema, true, users, avatar ID, follower. Oh, interesting. Follower to JSON. Yeah, that's a bit weird. I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, this is maybe fine. Yeah, following, followers. Yeah, maybe we should also have something that to give me 1 second. Oh yeah, because this is a virtual field, so we kind of have to include both. Yeah, that kind of sucks, and that's actually fine. So we don't need an avatar ID, but we do need avatar field for sure. Yeah, I've actually seen this. Yeah, I think I've seen this. Yeah. Originally defined in RC 2324, an April Fool's joke. Yeah. I mean, I tell you, we are the hot dudes on all the parties, right? Just when you go to a party and you see a chick, just say, "Hey babe, do you know what a 418 is?" She's gonna just, yeah. Okay, very interesting. Give me a second. Okay, we're starting here a bit slowly, and that's actually good by me. Yeah, but I actually don't remember how I implemented this. I thought that everyone can see each other's followers and stuff. Like, how did we implement profile statistics? Or is dialog open? Okay, banner. Set is dialog open. Handle stat click. Okay, wow, that's. But how come? I actually don't remember this. But full bar 4. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Following. Profile statistics count. Should show stats. Oh, his own profile. I see. Okay. How come that I made that decision? Let me see now again. Go here. Okay, so now actually it's fine. Following 7 articles. Sure, okay. So let's actually kind of also update that. Where is this thing that I just... So let's kind of get rid of this and this. Nice. Okay, I mean, at least the avatar now is there, so that's kind of okay-ish, right? Let's deploy this now. So let's kind of deploy this bad boy here. Okay. And then let's see what we've done here. So we're just appending the index +1. I'm not so sure that this is correct. Okay, so AI has kind of failed, but it's fine. I remember building this, so it's okay. I should not really be needing to manually append that or increment that index by 1. So there's something else that's farting out here. Okay, fair enough. Shit. But didn't I back in the day build like utility for this somewhere in the API? But long time ago I've built utilities such as find and paginate, etc. Why are you reinventing that for followers and following? Let's try that. Max, my friend, good evening. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you had a good day, man. Yeah, exactly, my friend. Yes, so why are you... Great. Okay. All right, AI is... Okay, so this composer model is not super great, but let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. Okay, let's hope now that it's gonna restore the avatar. Okay. Sure. Let's go back here. Try again. Yeah, 400 bad request. Okay. Yeah, so let's actually, yeah, so this kind of model sucks, it seems. So let's switch to this one. And let's see what this guy has done. Makes no sense. Mohammed, good evening, man. Good to see you again. Thank you very much for coming. Let me just, good, man, good, Bounty, good evening, buddy. Good, yeah, just standard stuff, work, meetings today. And yeah, more or less kind of sums it up. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at the AI and what it has done. All right, so I mean, looks reasonable, I would say. So let's deploy this as well to production, and then give it a shot. I would say it looks okay to me. I mean, now it's using the logic I wrote long ago, and then also the UI stuff kind of looks fine. The following crap, I don't know what is this. That am I gonna unfollow? Okay. Yeah, maybe kind of. Let's kind of improve this. Let's improve the following button. Maybe let's use icons for this, so it looks better. Okay, did we push that to production in the API? Let's see, we need to kind of make sure that gets deployed and stuff like that. So let's get over here. Actions. Yeah, the previous one has been deployed, but that doesn't help actually. Okay, so let's wait for this one and let's see what our agent is going to help us with. So we kind of Isn't am I faster than a computer? That's I'm sorry, man. That makes absolutely no sense. Are you asking me, am I faster than a computer that can execute billions of operations a second? No, nobody is. Nobody is. And it's not also, am I faster? The question is, do I want to do this? Do I find joy in doing this? No. So I would say it's more about, do I find it fun and something meaningful to do? No. So I would say that is a greater problem than speed, right? I would say it's more about, do I want to waste key presses on this? I would say, but it's a fair question. I mean, some things are definitely, and oftentimes definitely you're right. There some things are. Well, I mean, the thing is, I would actually say that it actually doesn't matter, I guess, if I can put it that way, because fundamentally, only thing that matters are results. So, in some way or form, I don't think there's a golden rule for that, right? I think it's just like finding a sweet spot when you build things. So it's, I think I guess it's, I would say it's very different for everyone, right? So it's hard to say, how do I decide? There is some objective, I guess, objective thing you can say, but then there's also a feeling type of thing, right? Like, do I feel doing this type of work now? No, I know, Bounty. That's already fixed. Yeah. That's already fixed. Fuck. Give me 1 second. I also found it when I sent it today. No, fuck, man. Yeah, that's not good. That is actually not good. So AI has kind of miserably failed in this context, which is actually very rare, to be honest with you. But yeah, it has actually failed. It has failed, which, yeah, actually is weird. So I don't know why did it. I don't actually know why did it touch the use infinite at all. Actually, yeah, that has been fixed. Yes. Okay, yeah. So it did mess it up before. Okay, good. Okay, so we can kind of, I suppose, yeah. I mean, let's take a look at this again. I mean, I don't think that's a decision you can make, man. Like if you will not have a job soon thinking like that, right? So I don't think this is a matter of what you want, right? This is a matter of reality, right? This is not a matter of like choice. You don't have a choice. Are you gonna use AI or not, right? Because most people will use it, and you will simply not deliver even remotely as they will. And this has nothing to do with my preferences even, right? I'm a realist. I'm a pragmatist. I'm not a, so you get what I mean. So I would say, you know, it doesn't matter if it's better, man. It doesn't matter if it's better. I mean, one doesn't exclude the other, right? So one doesn't exclude the other. AI is here and it's gonna stay here, and it is the present and the future, and that's just how it is. And you know, we can like it, we can dislike it, we can do whatever. That's fine, but it doesn't change that fact. So I don't think there's a choice. Should I use AI or shouldn't? You have to use it. And that is just, it's not, when your tech lead tells you that, when your boss, under quotes, tells you that, they're not telling you that because they want to tell you how you should work. They're telling you that because they also know that it's not a matter of question, it's a matter of fact, right? So you know, you can resist that as long as you want, and that is okay. That's your choice. But you will not be able to resist that for too long, right? It doesn't matter if you forget, right? I mean, if you forget how to code, you never knew how to code at the first place, right? That's like forgetting how to drive a bicycle, right? You cannot forget that. So if you have learned how to code, you will know how to, and you still have to code. It's not that using AI, I mean, you have to review things, you have to correct them, you have to fix them. Nobody, your boss is not telling you to write a prompt and click accept and move on. So don't be an absolutist, right? Nobody is saying, you know, vibe code your whole experience. That's not what you're paid for. If they wanted that, they would hire a non-technical person and they would pay them 10 times less than you. So try not to be absolute, right? Nobody is saying, let me write a prompt and move on. I'm clearly not doing that, right? But you have to find a middle ground. AI is incredibly useful and it can empower us programmers deeply. And this is not a matter of opinion. It's literally a objective fact by now, right? So use it and review the code and go back and forth with AI almost as your pair programming. Plan, spend more time building a good solution, clean code, architecture, you know, architect things better. So focus more time on building a good solution, and then let the AI write the actual characters, because that's what computers are good at. Computers are very fast at you know, producing things, generating things, way better than humans. But humans are still way better at ideation and still way better at guiding this tool to do something good, right? So you know, understand that you're now an architect of the system, not a monkey coder who just presses keys, right? So yeah, so nobody is suggesting I'm sure your manager is not saying, oh, you know, Vax, just blindly write prompts and that's your code. If they needed that, you wouldn't have a job today, right? If that's what they wanted, you wouldn't have a job today, neither would I. So it's not a matter of choice again, it's a matter of existence. And that's just how it is. I lived through sufficient amount of these waves in my career as a programmer, and this is not the first wave. This is not the first time we are asked to do something, and not the last time either, right? So, you know, get used to change. Changes are coming, changes are part of life, and instead of expecting the planet to change around you, you have to understand that you have to change as the time goes by according to the rest of the world, right? So the world is not gonna not use AI because you don't want to use it, right? You know, so that's just how it is. You know, if you ever saw that thing, let me show you protests against calculators. I don't know if you saw this image, but this is the math teachers protesting against, in 1966, protesting against calculator use because, as you can see, they thought that kids are going to be super dumb, right? So you could use the AI here as a difference in the same level of objection and same level of resistance, right? So that's just how it is, man. Okay, nice. Cloud for the pages. What? So yeah, be a realist, right? I'm a pragmatist. I'm realist. I'm not a dreamer. Oh, what the heck? What? So don't allow yourself to fall short of that. But it doesn't matter, man, what people believe. This stream is about trying to convey a couple of ideas. What people believe is absolutely irrelevant. Beliefs are opinions, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So what we believe is absolutely irrelevant. Focus on things at hand. Focus on being pragmatic. Focus on yourself. Look around, see what's happening, and make your own assumptions. What's going to happen? What your bosses think, do they think that AI will or will not take our jobs, is absolutely irrelevant. They can just as well think that Santa Claus is real, right? That doesn't make it real, right? So don't worry too much about what people think and say. Like, use the tools to better yourself, to be more productive, because your salary, your career, your career growth and progression purely depend on the output you're capable of providing, meaning the value you make for your company is what's going to define, are you going to get a raise, so focus on these things. What I think, what your bosses think, what we predict is completely meaningless, right? It's absolutely irrelevant, because me thinking something doesn't make it true, and neither it helps you in any way. So that's the point, right? Just focus on using these tools for your own sake, and getting better at what you do, and that's really all that matters. Everything else is meaningless, right? People are making predictions out of just their own feelings, and this crap is still broken. Josh, my friend, good evening. So yeah, focus on these things. That's all I can say, basically, right? What people think, is irrelevant. It doesn't. I mean, it's not that it's irrelevant. It's nice to listen to everybody's opinion and take it with a grain of salt, but it doesn't help us. Opinions do not shape our reality, right? Me or your boss or fucking, I don't know, Messiah thinking something doesn't change much for you and me. You and me, we have to get our work done and be competitive on the market, and that is the reality. People's opinions don't change that in any way, right? People think all sorts of things. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, what did I write for today's stream that I'm gonna do? Let's write some code and have a good time, brah. Okay, so let's now go to, basically that's what I wrote. So let me try to stick to my own promises to myself. So there's this refactor RSS feed change that I kind of started long ago, sections RSS. And then here, essentially, I had a bunch of crap. Okay. All right, let's try to switch to this thing. We're probably gonna have some merge conflicts and stuff. But yeah, let's give it a shot. So let's go here. Let's say git fetch. Let's also do git pull. Let's say git checkout RSS, git rebase origin RSS. Okay, let's try rebasing. Okay. I thought that I have the LG. Okay. Class name updates, merge. November. Okay. Okay. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's more of them. What? Na 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 na. Cool. All right. Okay, so in theory, if we go, if things didn't break, let's see. If we go here and here, shit, you can sync RSS again in 0 hour. What? Oh, I see what's happening here. All right. Just do it this way, it's easier, maybe. Utils, okay. Sections, RSS utils. All right, so that was kind of the same. All right, cool. All right, great. It's kind of closed. Okay. So this is kind of what I wanted to do. This was a new view, RSS feed import. Your next sync is available. This stream is typically about this program network platform. Now I'm just kind of improve. We had a viewer yesterday who who was essentially just giving us some feedback on our RSS imports. So I kind of want to do this and also add it to our sign up flow. So we're gonna kind of do that today, I believe, in this stream. RSS, let's just search, finalize import, blah blah blah. Yes, add canonical URL, sure. Professor logout has said this, but there was also like complete European account reminder, complete profile wizard. Yeah. Exactly right. So we want to do something like this. Sync limit reached. Okay, I mean, let's that's great. This is better. So let's we're gonna yeah, you could say merge this one. Let's play a bit with AI here. Give me 2 seconds. So let's kind of get here. Let's kind of discuss. Let's get in a plan mode. This is the mode you should be in for the most part. Let's discuss the UI, UX and UI here a bit and what we could do better. Open for suggestions, be critical. Okay, let's see what we can improve. Not the most important feature, but we can make it better as we make everything else incrementally better over time. That is the whole point. Dark night. I don't know what that means, my friend, but good evening. Lucky. Good evening, buddy. Thank you for coming. Very good, man. Very good. Been at work, lots of meetings, bit with my wife and kids, and now I'm here with you guys hacking stuff out. Nice, man. That is awesome, dude. Well done. One second, fellas, as we are using bool MQ. We could store their RSS URL instead. Refetch with a cron job every 24 hours or similar. Hi, I'm from Russian-speaking community. Good to see you, man. Good to Punam on YouTube. Good evening. Thank you very much for coming. What I'm building is a programming network, basically a social site for programmers and nerds and geeks and you name it, right? So if you're that, please sign up. Okay, So let's actually do one thing. So what we're gonna do, so if you guys remember, some of you were here last night, we discussed the RSS, and right now this was a version 0.1 that I built long ago manually, right? Now when we have AI, we can kind of speed things up a bit. But fundamentally, what we're gonna do now is, instead of kind of you coming here needing to manually import your RSS, let's actually create a cron job, because now we have event-based system like BullMQ, something like RabbitMQ, similar, you know, actually not really, but anyway. So let's maybe now extend this to the backend. So when you actually save your RSS feed, we save the actual URL, and then our API just syncs this every 24 hours. Instead of you needing to, so if you write a blog, if you want to keep writing blog on your own blog and then having your articles synced with programming network so you can get some free traffic, this is, I believe, the way. So let's see what this bad boy is gonna do. We have an MCP server to our Postgres, so very useful when you're using AI, because now, you know, it has to update some schemas, generate some migration files probably. So it will probably either create a new table or extend an existing users table where they can maybe, you know, store their RSS or whatever. Let's see what the plan is. So we're gonna spend more time here because we wanna delegate key process to the AI, and we want to be the architects of this, right? Okay, so far you can see it's following kind of what I already have. So it's going to extend our queue names enum that we have. It's going to add RSS sync. It's going to create the queue function, logical, right? Very systematic. And that is going to create a new worker inside of our config queue in our API. Yes, for sure. Then it's going to create a RSS sync worker with a sitemap generation worker pattern. Fetch all our RSS feeds from database, sync each feed, handle errors gratefully per feed, don't fail entire job if one fail. Very important and very correct. It's gonna long sync status, whatever. Cloud Code API, but GitHub tools. I mean, I don't use either, but I think, as I always say, the most important thing when it comes to LLM models is your input and your articulation skills, right? So the best way to optimize these tools to work better for you is to be smarter and better in talking to the AI. So basically what we're doing here. So if you're capable of architecting things, if you already know how to code, and if you're good at it, then models in most cases don't matter. Because really what matters is how you think about problems. Do you have any system design skills? Do you know how to design systems? Because today, technically, that is the most important skill. So if you're wondering what I at least think about it, it has never been so important to have some system design knowledge and how systems work and etc. Because then you can spend more time being an architect and not pressing keys of writing function names and variables, because that is a liability, not a value, really. Very good. I mean, this is an awesome plan, honestly. So let's focus kind of on the outcome of this. So these are all technicalities up there, and they might matter to us programmers, but for the users, nobody cares if you have a cron job or not, or how we do things. So this is kind of, you could say, the value in a way, right? Anton Ivanov, good to see you, man. My name is Alexander, or Alexander in Serbian, if you may. Error display: show errors in the UI with appropriate styling, manual tagging path, view my articles linked. Clear actions, button labels match actual behavior, better messaging, automatic sync reduces user anxiety about 3 manual import, sync status, different views. All right, let's let's give it a shot. I kind of like this, honestly. I don't think it's bad. So let's hit this build button, then spend time reviewing and improving and refining, and then see where it takes us. Yeah. And if you guys are new here, make sure to yeah. Some of you, oh wow, we have already 3 people signed up this stream. Thank you guys. That's pretty awesome. So we're trying to build an awesome community here. Well, awesome platform and awesome community. So just seeing more and more. We have, I think, more than 2,500 people signed up. So that is awesome. That is you. Okay, I actually have to follow you guys. All 3 of you. Chris, welcome. Paulo, welcome. Brazil, one of my best colleagues at work, Gustavo, he is also from Brazil. My very close friend here in Copenhagen. Fuji, nice. Super. Yeah. So if you sign up using GitHub, I just try to, yeah. Brazilians are one of the most awesome people I met in my life. There's something about... also, I have an Argentinian friend, Juan, who I actually employed here in Denmark when he was in Argentina. Also super nice. I mean, I could start a war and just say Argentinians are nicer than Brazilians, but I don't want to say that. But, you know, it's easy to start a war there, right? Easy to start a war. Suddenly, the next question from Paulo. Alex, how do I remove my Programmer Network account? Really, Alex? Okay. How do I remove my account? Even better in football. Yeah, I mean, they had Maradona, right? Maradona was a legend, right? So, come on. But you guys had Roberto Carlos. You had multiple Ronaldos. You had... So, I mean, come on. It's actually hard to say. Is it really JetBrains Mono? It is. Let me actually check. Let me check my settings. You can see JetBrains Mono. Let me see if I have some other settings. Exactly. Actually, Vex, I've been to Portugal a couple of days ago with my company. We went to Lisbon for team building. We've been there for like 3 or 4 days. It was really nice. Nice, Ivan. That's cool, bro. That's very nice, man. That's very nice, Ivan. No, man. Please, I'm here to chat to you guys and to share knowledge and to make friends. Believe it or not, man, I made real life friends through this stream here in Copenhagen. Sako and a couple of other people. Recently, almost a guy, Cedric from what is the name of the country? Jesus Christ, my brain stopped. But no, dude, this stream is awesome, man. In that sense, I meet a lot of people and made literally so many friends. So just chat, man. The world is small, and I try to use the opportunity here to you know, it's 2025. We don't make friends only on the street, right? So it's nice to get to know you guys. For sure, and vice versa, I hope. All right, we're gonna need to review the living crap out of this. Luckily, it's most of my code is very awesome and very declarative and very humble, right? So it's kind of replicating pretty much everything in my own style because I already have a bunch of these examples. I already see some things we will need to improve and change, but not gonna blame AI for that because it doesn't know about it yet, but it will soon. Okay, so if we actually go here, do you use Sonnet 4.5 all the time? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Again, I'm gonna just repeat it again, Vex. The quality of your input far outperforms the model that you're using. So I'm not saying that models don't matter, they do, but nothing is as important as your input, right? So you can see I spend a lot of time, just as I spend with my team. I work as a tech lead, so I spend all the time with my team finding the solution and then building versus building and then finding the solution, right? So this is basic engineering principles, you know, measure 50 times, cut once, you know, or like Einstein said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes looking for the right questions to ask. So if you just take that quote and put it on your wall and try to daily live by that, so if you start being an actual engineer more and more, meaning engineering things, not programming is not per se engineering. Just like architecture is not taking a shovel and digging holes, right? So, Mauser, my friend, good evening. Good to see you, dude. RSS feed is basically a representation of your content through YAML. So if I go to my old personal blog, you can see like, so this is RSS, so this is my old blog. And as you can see, I have this RSS. Geeked, thank you very much for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. And also the rest of you who followed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to just, I'm focusing on this, so I kind of miss a couple of you. So thank you. All right, so, okay, so I mean, okay, all right. Let's make a step back here. So let's first like validate certain things. So RSS schema that I wrote long ago is still the same. That's good. So AI has written the new /sync endpoint. Fine, nothing wrong with that. Yes, sure. We're using a pre-handler, basically, yes. To authenticate, basically, that we make sure that we're authenticated, profile is complete. Sure, let's take a look at this. This is what I deeply dislike. I don't know why it's manually casting crap. It makes no sense. No need, as we can also see. Then we have some validation. Hey, you can't sync your feed more than 24. Like, yeah. We create a transaction. We nuke your existing things. We create the articles from the RSS. We map the articles here. Then we do a promise all. Okay, so yeah, this I see a bit like, doesn't Sequelize provide some more efficient way to insert those, etc.? This seems slightly inefficient. I don't remember, like, but I think Sequelize bulk create. Insert in bulk, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it does provide it. I'm going to try and use it properly to see. again, believe me when I tell you, I don't think there is no question that you're gonna be faster. Just note that the best way to evolve is to, so the best way for a human being to evolve and be better person tomorrow is to understand some core principles about humanity at the first place. So first and foremost, habits die hard. So there hasn't been a single time in history when human beings haven't been pushing back on things. If you read the book by Mustafa Suleyman, who is currently the CEO of Microsoft AI, and he's a co-founder of DeepMind, he wrote a book called The Coming Wave about AI. In that book, you would actually understand more what I'm talking about if you would read it, because you would understand that every single technological and non-technological advancement throughout the human history has not been fully embraced initially. People have been skeptical about cars, about electricity, about phones, about calculators, about everything, right? So in order to understand why you oppose something, it's important to understand the history as well. So the question isn't whether you're going to be more productive. You will 100% be more productive. The question is whether you're willing to understand that you, as all of us, myself and everybody else, you fear the change, you're used to your own habits, and now there's this wave, the coming wave, the AI wave, and you're like, oh man, I've been doing this for this long time, right? So don't be skeptical, instead be more open-minded, and I promise you greater results. I'm gonna share the book with you guys. Very good book. I highly suggest all of you to read it. So it's called The Coming Wave. You can buy it on Amazon. If you have Audible, you can listen to the audio book as well. The Mustafa, the original author, he is the narrator of the book on Audible as well. So you can see, and just the reason why I'm suggesting this book, keep in mind, I don't suggest books like by assholes like myself. This guy is an expert. His CV is amazing. So he has been on forefront of AI for many years. So again, he founded DeepMind. He's a CEO of Microsoft AI now. So it's not like a random Twitch streamer like me, right? Sharing his opinion out of his butthole, right? So you can see institutions, DeepMind, Google, Microsoft. So it's not a random guy. So I highly advise you to read this book. His own fears about AI, its capabilities, its future, and stuff like that. I believe me, you will learn a lot. I have learned a lot, and I typically try to find people who are not random dudes like me on the internet, but people who are actually responsible for these awesome things that are happening in the world today, right? So so yeah, that is my take. I have a question. Should I build an operating system? That is a very undefined question, my friend. I mean, should I build an operating system? Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Like, why? What is the outcome? Why do you want to do this? What do you think that's gonna achieve for you long term in your career, short term in your career? Like, I don't understand where is that coming from. You need to provide more context. Why would you build an OS? Like, I assume you're thinking about learning new things. And if your question is, should I learn new things? The response logically is absolutely. You should definitely learn things. Code with Ali. Hey, Code with Ali. Thank you very much for coming. But should you build an OS? I mean, that is a very you need to kind of define that question a little bit better, right? I don't trust anyone who works for this company, Microsoft. That's a very childish thing to say. Sorry, man. I'm not trying to be rude, but I think that is a very meaningless statement, right? You're generalizing. That is almost saying I hate all white people, right? The generalization is almost the same, right? I don't trust anyone from this. Why sequelize? Why not? Why not sequelize? What are you creating, Umar? This stream is typically about programming network platform. If you're a programmer or a nerd, please give it a shot and sign up. I don't know what's up with my bull dashboard. Team Prisma. No, it's fine. I mean, again, you know, this stream is very pragmatic, right? So I'm all open to discussions, but I mean, you know, reasonable. We always start with why and why not, and etc. Right? Sequelize is way older than Prisma, and it's a very mature project. So, PJ, good evening, my friend. How are you? So Sequelize is way older than Prisma. It's a very, very old project. I've used it literally, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or more. So for me, that is why. It has worked 10 years ago. It works today. So, I mean, that is fine, Ivan. I mean, I don't... yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm mega fan of Windows either. Actually, I'm not a fan of any operating system. That's stupid to say. Operating system is operating system. If it works, who gives a crap, right? But I think that, yeah, I think generalizing like that, hey, I don't trust anyone from Microsoft, I think it's a bit unfair to say, right? I don't think it's kind of, yeah. Oh, actually, wait, there was another comment. I agree, the question is more of what is the actual impact of AI? What all will it replace? This is one of the technological... Waking Forest, let me just read your comment, man. And thank you very much for all of you who are... I'm not using monorepo, no. I'm not a fan of that pattern. I agree, the question is more of what the actual impact of AI is. What all will it replace? This is one of the first technological... can influence business anyway. So, I mean, look, I can already tell you that, so the biggest problem with absolutist thinking, right, is that, so when you read something, let me show you what the problem with this world is, and also to prove my point. So when people say AI will replace developers, for example, or AI will replace X, this is both 100% true and 100% wrong, depending how you look at it, right? So for people who are not absolutists, people who can think with their minds, they know that this is true, right? So for example, the way that I see this, the way that I think about this is I trust my own eyes at work. I mean, I've been working for 17 years professionally already, in the companies, not in my mother's basement, right? And I see today that simply we need to hire less people. I see it in my own company, I see it in my friends' companies. So that already means AI will replace something. So when we say something will do something, it doesn't have to mean absolute. Nobody's saying every single programming job is going to disappear. That's not the point. The point is to say we will need less of... No, I know Waking Forest. This is not to say that I'm saying it with I'm not arguing with you. I agree actually with you. It's more to say the reason why there's vastly two polar opposite groups when it comes to this argument, because both groups are looking at these types of argument in a very absolute sense. Nobody's saying that these statements are absolutely true. It's just, if you trust your own eyes and if you work in this industry, you must see in your own company today that you simply don't have to hire as much as you did before, because we can simply accomplish a lot more with this AI than we could before as individual contributors. And this is a fact, right? I see this everywhere. I see this in my own company, in my own team. So this is when people say AI will replace X, Y, Z, whatever that is. Yes, many people that were needed before, at least in one organization, are not going to be needed. Now, of course, right, this thing as well can technically, it maybe creates jobs as well, right? Because now, today, many people can, you know, use these vibe coding things or whatever, like Lovable, to start their own companies, maybe breakthrough, ship fast, fail fast. Maybe, you know, we're gonna have higher amount of companies with smaller teams. So this is, in fact, my prediction. My prediction is that engineering teams are gonna become a lot smaller, but you're gonna have more companies, right? But these types of statements are still true. I mean, you simply need less people of type X to achieve the same thing that was maybe not true 5 years ago, right? So, so that's kind of my take, yeah. So I would just say it's important that we don't look at things in an absolute sense, because that is just plain dumb. Okay, let's get back to this. Let's now improve this UI. Buttons are super wide. Maybe let's put them next to each other. Let's improve typography and its size. Are you any intermediate projects you recommend for beginners? I learned Python 2 years ago and read a book on algorithms. No, I mean, so I think one of the massive misconceptions about programming, AXCA, is that this is like, I remember when I was very young, when I was a kid, I was writing Pascal and COBOL and PHP 3 and these languages. Programming for me, since I was very young, was always almost like carpeting, right? So when I hear people asking, what should I build? I feel a little bit sad, because I don't think that many of you have realized what it is that the skill that you have gives to you. Like, imagine becoming a carpenter and then asking people, hey, what should I make out of wood, right? Well, it's almost an art, or asking a very talented painter, what should I paint, right? So you should be using your programming creative skills to build something that hopefully you wanted to build your whole life. If you're a gamer, build a gaming website. If you're a musician, build, right? But understand that the skill you have is very practical. So you should use it in a practical way, right? So you don't need someone else, you don't need me to tell you, hey, what should I build? I mean, I hope not. No, but I would say, right, just you know, hopefully, you know, with the skill that you have today, right, you there are certain things that you kind of wanted to build throughout your life, right? And now you can do it. How amazing that is, right? So there is no such thing as an intermediate project. Such concept doesn't really exist. Start building something that you're passionate about and then see where that takes you, right? Oh, let me see. The importance of having realists as advisors. Ah, so is this article about me? Ah ha ha, I knew it. Thank you, man. Thank you, Josh. I know, I kind of already feel myself in this. You cannot learn, then build. That's impossible, right? AI generated article. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Just maybe remove these dashes. Maybe remove these dashes. Have you tried out Visual Studio 2026? No, unfortunately, I haven't. I'm not really writing C++ or C# anymore. So typically, that's what I would use Visual Studio for. Yeah. I'm curious, if I sent you the company I've been starting up, would you give me feedback on the problem solve value? Yeah, of course, man, I would. I mean, especially if people in the stream would kind of like that, then why not, man? I mean, definitely, why not? I think that could be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. I will actually read it. Josh, let me read this. Let me read this after the stream. I want to read it myself, right? And leave a comment or so. Of course, man, my pleasure. But it's so nice seeing so many people signing up. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you, Josh. I actually need to... Do I have a LinkedIn? Yeah, I have a LinkedIn. You can find my LinkedIn here, actually. Okay, great discussions, awesome stuff. Let me just get back to a bit of work, but I like when people are so active. It's thank you guys. The stream is always so much fun when people are talking and having a good time. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep reviewing stuff. So the last thing that I spotted that needed performance that could have been improved is improved. So AI has kind of acknowledged what I said, so that's good. Actually, PJ, next feature we're going to be building on Programming Network is in fact projects. Let me show you. So actually that is the upcoming feature we're going to be building. I already have kind of laid it out, and actually I expect once we get to that to do that in a single stream, because you know I have spec'd it out completely. I have mocked it up completely. It's not here, it's on my e-ink tablet here. It's actually in my bag, but yeah, there is I think it's gonna be fun because I want developers to be able to share their existing project they're working on. So the idea of the project is gonna be very simple. We're gonna have projects in Programming Network where you can either share your project and ask for feedback, and two, get other developers to join you if you want, if you're looking for help, etc. Right? So as you can see, I have some tasks. This is old one. This is ignore these things. But flexing the yeah, I am flexing with that big time. Not sure if today, but I'll make a post on PN. What's better for a dev, to jump into companies every 2-3 years or maintain the position for a long time? I think Max, I think so. Let me shed some lights on that, and then I'm gonna do a bit of coding, and then we continue chatting. But I think one thing that I've learned with people, with myself as well, with massive self-reflection of my previous past and my mistakes that I made, is that typically when people quit, whatever it is, relationships, their jobs, they quit because of the certain problems, obviously. But let's focus on the jobs. Relationships are harder. In my experience, quitting is the most terrible thing you can do sometimes. Sometimes it is the only way, unfortunately. But sometimes people do it and they kind of miss an opportunity to learn a lot of things in their career. So for example, switching companies is fine. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes you join a company that simply has bad management. It can be so many things. You can also just not be a great fit. You can join a company that it's not about the company. Sometimes you are the problem. I am the problem. Everybody's a problem, right? But I think fundamentally, people usually quit companies because there's some problem and they're too agreeable and too defensive and too scared to get into conflict and get into conflict resolution and solve the problem, right? And I see that in my company as well. Most people are agreeable, they're just quiet and stuff when there are problems, and then people will go to for beers or after work and then talk about these problems, right? So no matter what it is, that there's really no right or wrong question. Is it better to stay somewhere for X years or 20 or Y years? But just make sure that if you are ever changing jobs, that you're changing them because you sat down and you made a reasonable, logical agreement or disagreement with yourself. Now you also have AI, so you can go and chat to ChatGPT, Gemini, and try to validate your own thoughts against why am I making this decision, right? A lot of people quit because of various stupid reasons, but mostly because they're incapable of being adults and, you know, getting into a nasty discussion sometimes, because that is what it means to be a professional, man. Being maybe don't annoy Lars, or don't annoy Lars in the trial period. Exactly, right? Or that. But you know, it's a thing that you have to be willing to risk your current level of energy or whatever in order to solve things for yourself. So that is simply how it is. and I do that, and I put my money where my mouth is. I disagree a lot, and sure, I'm gonna go home sometimes, you know, it feels like shit, it doesn't feel great, yeah, but I don't carry my problems home. So I've been in a company where I work for almost 5 years now, and I think I'm probably gonna be for several more, because yeah, I try to solve any conflicts or whatever as much as I can, right? So now, how long should you stay somewhere? I don't think there's a golden rule for that. It really depends on your expectations, your own behavior, your own perception, and the perception can be your friend or your enemy, right? So there's a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-awareness that people have to do, and self-awareness is probably the most important skill in a professional life. If you're self-aware sufficient enough, you can do so many things. If you constantly think that everyone else is wrong and you're right and all the mistakes are someone else's, then you're gonna have a very hard time. I think the biggest problem, man, with goals, the biggest problem with happiness is that these things are not linear. Like your goals, your aspirations, your motivation is a curved line, and it changes as you go. So you have to reinvent yourself. So for example, if you join a company because you want to code, and then in 2-3 years you just say to yourself, oh man, I just keep doing the same shit, I just keep coding the same stuff, I want to do something else. There's so many things you can do in every company if you detach yourself from limited mindset and then say, well, let me learn about the company, let me learn about the domain of this company, let me become better at helping my sales and marketing, and so there's so many things you can do, right? But if you just stick to the core idea that your core skills are the only reason why you go to work somewhere, then you will always going to be switching companies, because a technical type of thing can only keep you somewhere for as long before you get bored, right? So if your expectation is that, oh, I'm going to join somewhere, it's always going to be technically challenging and I'm going to be building miracles and stuff, no, such job doesn't exist. You can join Google, you can join any company on earth, such job simply doesn't exist. You will eventually get bored, and then you have to reinvent yourself. So you have to look further than just building APIs and these types of things. So it's a lot of self-assessment you have to do. Yeah, for sure, Waking Forest. I mean, these things are not easy. I'm not saying, I'm not suggesting by no means that I have an answer to these things, but I've seen in my career, like, I also felt in this very company, at Dream Data where I work, of course, many times I felt, oh shit, man, I'm bored, I want to do something else, right? If somebody tells you otherwise, they're lying. There isn't a single employee ever who doesn't feel like this sometimes, right? But you again then find different motivation. You try to inject yourself elsewhere. You try to help with other things. So simply put, because if you change the job, you're gonna have that same feeling very soon as well, right? So it's like, I mean, if you're gonna change the job every time you get bored and stuff, then my company pays for my AI, so that of course is a massive benefit. I don't know, Vex. I don't know. I don't pay for these types of things, so to be very honest with you, I have no idea. Oh shit, okay. We really desperately need to improve tooling for this specific repository, because we have awesome tooling in all of the other places. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this code. What the fuck is this, man? Really? Yeah. Wow. Shit, man. Okay. What is this file? Q, okay. I really dislike that some of our Q functions are using these globals fields completely wrong. Let's see, let me chat with AI a bit. I mean, Max, I agree with you, man. I never worked anywhere in I've been working in startups for 17 years now. I never worked in a corporation, and I never will. That's not for me. I would die inside in 3 seconds in these big companies, because when you join there, everything is done already. You just follow the process, right? And I'm definitely not a person that follows process. I'm a person that creates process, that helps build the process and everything else, right? So I would say that startups are a perfect place where you can grow in so many directions if you have the drive. So if you're expecting that somebody, you know, if you have the expectation in startups that there's going to be some majestic path set for you by the startup, that's never going to happen. Like in 2007 I joined the first startup, then 2009, and ever since to 2025 I've been in startups. And I couldn't imagine anything else. And sure, I mean, I'll be 40 in 3 years, and you know, maybe one day, if I actually think so. I never felt that working in a different environment would be. And again, let's not over exaggerate. Not everything in startups is chaos. I mean, startup is still a company. I actually even hate using a word startup, because oftentimes you will hear people in these very companies using that word to kind of deflect the responsibility. So for example, many times you're gonna hear, oh, we are a startup, we don't have to do that. And I don't buy into that bullshit. Startup is a company legally. So every entity legally is a company. So saying we are a startup, hence we don't have to, that's bullshit. So if you hear that stuff, you know, and you're gonna hear that sentence a lot, then that's bullshit, right? Just because you're a startup doesn't mean that you're somehow forgiven of doing stupid things, right? AI can sometimes write complete nonsense. Software engineers can sometimes write complete nonsense as well. Don't forget that, Ivan, right? So I don't think that that has much to do with AI, right? I've seen terrible code written by people past 2 decades as terrible as AI can do, right? So AI, the reason why AI can write such terrible code is exactly because it taught programming from people, right? So don't forget that AI has been trained on code written by people. So if AI writes shitty code, that's because it has been trained on a lot of shitty code as well. Hello, friend. Nice, man. You work for Stripe. That's very awesome, dude. That's very good. No, exact. Again, the word startup is again misused, abused in many shapes and forms. My main point is startup is a company, and your company can be fast-paced, slow-paced, random, have no process, has all the process. Is just what I've felt many times throughout my career is that startup is like, oh, we are a startup. You know, like, yeah, we're not a corporation, we are a startup. So you're gonna hear this for whatever direction you want to go using that argument or abusing it. But it's silly because everything is a company. And you have a company, and company has to run, pay salaries, be effective, make money. And fundamentally, that's really all that matters. And how you call it, for me, it's irrelevant, right? Okay, I actually like this plan. Very good. I think this is very good. I think this is very, very good. Sage, I cannot give you any resources, man. I mean, I think if you have a hard time finding a resource today to learn, then maybe let's talk about that. That's a huge problem. If you have a hard time finding content today that has never been, content and knowledge is almost worthless today. There's so much content. As I said many times, 3-4 years ago, my hourly rate for teaching was around 250 euros. Today, I don't think I could even have a student that would be willing to pay anything. So if you have a hard time finding a resource where to learn from, maybe share your current process, because that's a little bit concerning, right? Because there's so many resources online, from Udemy, YouTube, you have ChatGPT, Gemini, all of these amazing models, deep research, deep learning. So I would much rather say let's maybe discuss how come that you don't know where to learn from. It has never ever in history been easier content-wise to learn new things. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, very good. Very clean. I like it. I mean, this file we already see that long term is not gonna suffice. We're gonna have to do a little bit of domain-driven design here and break this out eventually. Let's not prematurely redesign it, because it works and right now it's maintainable. But we can see that encapsulating all of the queues inside here. YouTube, like Udemy is an amazing resource. It's almost tragic. This is literally should be illegal. Like if you go to Udemy and look at these amazing courses, it's almost tragic. Again, I know, like the thing is let me tell you, let me put it this way. Us as humanity, as the time goes by, we have very little appreciation towards anything, right? When you come here, for example, look at this. Let's just click on something random. Let's say you want to learn, you said Java, right? So if you type Java here, or let's say JavaScript, right? When you look at some of these amazing mentors here, all of these guys are, I'm very sure, very kind. Let's look at this thing. This is 61 hours of video content for 12 euros. This is almost tragic today. I mean, it's so cheap that it's, what do you mean they should be free? No, man. No. I find that, no. I'm sorry. Nobody should be working for free, man. What do you mean it should be free? Why would it have to be free? Do you know how much time, how much effort, how much commitment it takes to record 61 hours of video? So to actually record this for people, it takes hundreds of hours. Repeating the same crap, editing, preparing to record the video. So this person has spent hundreds of hours and still maintains this, and then you get it for like 2 coffees price. So I would say that no, I mean, look, so hello friend, nobody disagrees with that, right? Nobody disagrees with that. Again, just be careful there. Let me give you my experience. I've spent 5.5 years working at the bootcamp several years ago, and a lot of the statements that we make, you could say, are true and false at the same time. People learn differently. Some people learn really well with a top-up, like bottom-up approach. Some people learn way better with a, top-down approach, which is what you suggest. Just throw yourself into a problem and then work backwards towards the technicalities and stuff. But there's no objective truth there. Some people learn this way, their brains are wired differently. Some people learn this way. One thing that is very true is that you cannot learn without doing. So of course, that is objectively true. So you cannot just watch a video and learn. But these types of courses, whatever, I just clicked on a random thing. No worry, PJ. No, it's fine. These types of videos, whatever you buy, they give you guidance. They give you at least some level of a roadmap. Then, of course, there's not a single mentor, myself included, that can explain everything to everyone's liking. So sometimes you're gonna buy some of this crap, and then you're gonna find a video that you have no idea what it is. You stop there. You go to YouTube, you go to Google, you go to ChatGPT, whatever. You resolve that for yourself, then you go back. That's true. What was the approach you followed for teaching in a bootcamp you mentioned? I mean, my approach was more being a human. I know it sounds super fucking stupid, but believe it or not, so when I used to teach at Thinkful, the Thinkful was the name of the bootcamp where I used to work was called Thinkful. I think many times when people enroll in these 6 months courses, sometimes they need somebody to help them technically, but for the most time they just need someone that they can rely on and not quit. So fundamentally, I would say you would be super surprised how many people just need someone to hold their hand throughout this period, because learning to program in 6 months is not easy. It's a very hard challenge. And most of these people had full-time jobs, so they had to do this after work. So in many cases, my goal was like, how can I make this person not quit? And then that's my OKR, that's my almost objective or whatever, and then I walk backwards so. And then you do a bit of psychology, a bit of whatever you need to do to push that person to succeed, right? Yeah, I am a manager. I am a manager. Hello, friend. Yes, I work in technical leadership. Yes. Are you scared about AI? I'm not scared about anything, man. I'm not scared about anything. I'm a stoic. I focus on myself and I evolve over time. I focus on things that I can do and I better myself every day, and I'm not scared about anything. I don't sit on Twitter, or I don't even have these platforms and think about me being replaced. I work every day towards not being replaced, right? So why would I be scared, man? I have internet, I have shelter, I have my home. I'm probably better off than 90% of population on this earth. So if I'm scared, I would hit myself in the face already, right? Why would I be scared? Just study, get better, work hard, and adjust according to how the world works. Don't expect the world to adjust around you, and that's really it. What should I be? You know, what should I be? Let me see Discord. I don't know if I have this. So there's nothing to be afraid, man. You should be afraid if you're sitting home and just not reacting to anything, right? I'm not afraid of anything, man. Shit. My pleasure, man. Thank you for asking. And I'm sorry, like, so much awesome chat. It's just I know that I probably missed some messages. If I did, please just paste the question again. It's just been so like so many discussions. I you know. Yeah, I assumed, okay. Create queue, oh, what? Create queue config, oh, okay. Okay. Okay, well, AI is better at string matching than I am. So it seems you missed some stuff in there. Let's use regex on steroids to do this. Again, my question, hi, experienced developers often say that the way to escape tutorial hell is to complete a real project rather than trying to learn dozens of things or spending hours watching tutorials. However, in the era where AI and applications are advancing at the lightning speed, I find it difficult to build everything from scratch on my own, and I struggle to stay motivated. What would you suggest? What would you suggest? Good question. I need to think a little bit about it. Give me a second. So I think Oguz, I think it's a very good question. I don't honestly think so first, okay, so let me just rephrase. I think the question is very good. I think the answer is very hard because I actually recorded a video on YouTube a year or two ago about AI, and there has been a lot of shitting on juniors because they're using AI, right? Only a stupid moron can do that because it makes no sense. So let me just elaborate that idea, and then maybe you can derive the answer from that. So if any generation, including my generation or generation if software developers during assembly days had AI, they would use AI. So the argumentation against new generation of developers today is like, oh, these junior developers today are using AI. Of course they're using AI, bro, because they have it. If you've been coding for 20 years, you would have used it 20 years ago as well if you had it. This type of idiotic argumentation I could never understand. Like, seriously, only a person who never thought about this for 3 seconds can say, these juniors today are using it. Of course they're using AI. That's like saying, you know, when electricity was invented, oh, like the previous generation, look at these morons using electricity. They have light bulbs and stuff. Like, yeah, bro, you would have used it as well if you had it. So to your defense, you must use AI. You cannot like pretend that it doesn't exist because somebody 30 years ago or 10 or 20 learned programming manually. Now, of course, unfortunately, and that's why you're getting demotivated, is true, you're decentivized because you don't know how to not use it. So you kind of need a lot of discipline to... You need a lot of self-discipline to say, yeah, I mean, I need to force myself to learn these concepts for real without falling back to AI to solve it for me. And I don't know, I cannot, you know, I cannot I cannot give you an answer for that. I don't know what I would do, right? So it's a very good question, and anyone who gives you a direct answer is bullshitting you. It's hard. You have to use AI. So it seems to me today that for those of you who are just starting, you simply have to find a way to discipline yourself, to be honest with yourself and say, am I actually learning or am I mimicking and you know, delegating my cognitive you know, my cognitive load to some other tool, right? Rotava Giok, yeah, hello, long time no see. Thank you very much for coming, man. Why don't you use Amazon? Why would I use Amazon? I mean, I have my own home data center here, and if I don't, I use Hetzner. So I have my own data center at home. Actually, it's here. So, oh, nice, Matty, nice. So this is the programmer network infrastructure. If you care how is it done, I'm writing everything down. But this is my own mini data center. 3 mini PCs, 4 Raspberry Pi, so 7 machines in total. So if you're interested, you can go there, check how is it done. But this is our infrastructure. We're not using cloud at all. Okay, man, yeah, haven't actually done much, a lot of chat and stuff, but it's good, it's okay, it's fine, I don't mind. Okay, so we kind of patronized this, as I like to say, so we kind of improved it, you may say. We kind of created a little singleton there. Yeah, more separation will be needed over time. Have you seen the new NVIDIA Spark PC? I have, yes. And honestly, it's fine. It's very expensive if I recall. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be an early adopter of that. I'm going to wait until these types of machines become consumer-grade pricing, right? Because fundamentally, that is inevitable, right? Investors are throwing billions of dollars at AI now. And as the costs go down, as we optimize things, as we build more data centers, a lot of these things will become almost like, I predict in 5-10 years that we'll be easily running local models on our home data centers for free, basically. Yeah, definitely. The thing is, oh, Goose, my pleasure. So the thing is, Waking Forest, is that I currently use OpenAI for Programmer Network. So for example, if you have signed up, if you, for example, go to Programmer Network here, upload this image under the thoughts or write some text, this is one of the use cases where I use AI. So for example, I validate images against pornographic content. I automatically classify these thoughts into tags, definite amount of tags. And OpenAI, the API is so cheap that is tragic. Like, I literally, currently for Programmer Network, because we don't have much traffic and much like usage, I don't think I spend even 50 cents a month. So some of these APIs are so cheap that in order to justify investment in hardware like a GPU, like something to run your own local models, you really need to have traffic. So for example, if I would build this platform or some other hobby project like this, and it would have a lot of traffic, then yeah, absolutely. I think buying a dedicated machine to self-host would make sense. But right now, that upfront investment would take thousands of years to, with the current use, to actually make logical sense, right? But I mean, this PC from which I'm streaming, so this machine that I'm streaming from, this is a very insane machine. I mean, I run some local models here, so I can actually show you. So this machine that I'm streaming from, and this is literally just almost built for this purpose. If we go to performance, right, you will notice a couple of things. So you will notice here that I'm running RTX 4070 Ti. It's a 16-core CPU. You can see that my CPU basically is completely underutilized, right? So you can see it's so I have DDR5. So this is an insane machine. I can run local models here. The biggest problem is it's meaningless to do so. Like there's right now, unless you're doing something super secret, you don't want to expose your data to the cloud providers, there is literally not a single logical reason why you would run your local model. Because Gemini, ChatGPT, Mistral AI, all of these things are so cheap. Some of them are also free. I tried. I have a LM Studio here. I have Ollama. I've been kind of trying to. I have a personal laptop, not my MacBook Pro, but that's my work laptop. But I have my own Linux laptop. Also has 4070 Ti, so I could technically. It's meaningless. It's hard to justify even the electricity. So for example, my cluster right now, my Kubernetes cluster. Just know that this is like let me actually show you. So you can see these are my Kubernetes cluster nodes. If I actually go here, I can maybe show you. So this is our Kubernetes cluster. So you can see what I'm also running Argo CD, but you can see this is our current Kubernetes cluster, and you can see we're using Longhorn, Redis, like standard stuff, right? This cluster right now, actually, fuck, you're not seeing my screen. So this cluster right now, it's consuming 70 watts of power. So, and it runs, you can see actually, if we take, if we take a look at, like, so you can see these are my 6 or 7 machines that this cluster is running on. But right now it's using around 70 watts power, and you can see the uptime right now is 130 days, so I haven't restarted this cluster in 100. So the uptime is amazing. But so 70 watts of power to run this whole thing. If you would add a full-fledged GPU that would actually be doing things, you would be spending so much electricity that it would literally make zero financial sense. So again, the only use case I can see with self-hosting an AI model, whatever, is some sort of privacy. So again, you need to ensure that whatever you're interfacing with indeed just remains there. Besides that, there's no financial benefit at all. It just isn't there, right? Okay, let me just commit this. I think so far this looks fine. Yeah, it's just, I mean, everything has to be observed from my financial perspective, not from the nerd perspective, right? Liz, we'll be hanging out for a long time to come, so don't worry. I'm also gonna probably round up soon as well. I can hear that my wife is, both of my kids are sleeping. My wife seems to be awake, so I might also round up soon and just give her a hug and stuff. I haven't managed to spend much time with her today, so likewise, Liz. And Waking Forest, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I'm a complete nerd when it comes to hardware, man. I have all the hardware. I have so many computers in this very office here. It's almost tragic. It's like when I look all the stuff that I bought, I just feel bad about it. It's like shit. And I just managed to justify it to my wife, of course, but yeah. But it's almost tragic, to be honest. Okay, this is just formatting. Yeah, but I feel on your response, you know what I'm talking about. I can feel on the response, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's kind of been there, done that, my dude, type of response, I feel. Yeah. I know, man. And it's, you know, what can you do? We love what we do. Can you blame us for that, right? Can you blame us for that? I mean, you know. All right, let's see if we're gonna break production with this or not. Let's see if we're gonna break production or not. Next manual sync, last synced. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys, for your follows. And I haven't seen if anyone has subscribed. I don't have that like set up. I don't see that, but thank you. That's very nice. That's very kind of you. Okay, let's kind of do this as well. Maz, Blender. Oh, Waking Forest gave a sub. Thank you very much, man. That's awesome. Thanks. More importantly, I'm happy that you like the stream, and I'm so happy to meet you. So that is the important part. Thank you, man. No, it's so cool, man. You just meet so many nice people to the stream. Like, I have a huge list. I need to kind of put it somewhere in Programmer Network, whatever. Just a huge list of awesome people. Just so nice, man. It's kind of, I mean, it's 2025, so it's nothing wrong. As I was saying at the start of the stream, I also made some real-life friends to this stream. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just awesome. What's happening? Okay, so can we just fast forward there? Yes, we can. Okay. So let's find that PR that I opened like 8 months when I kind of stopped streaming, and now I came back. So if we go to where is this project? What are we talking about? Programming Network frontend. So Flanic, I'm not a content creator. I don't do this. I don't have my plan to. I do this purely for fun. So I might stream now, and I might stream for the next month, and then not stream for 3 months. It really is a kind of two-way street, in a way. So yeah, I mean, I started streaming again like a week or two ago. I haven't streamed in like 8 months. So I haven't streamed in 8 months, and then I came back. So it has to be fun for me. It has to be fun for you, obviously, right? So, you know, to be very frank with you, I'm not gonna lie. When I started streaming for the first time, I did have certain goals, and you know, it's like, oh, it would be nice to make some extra cash, whatever, blah blah. But then I came to certain realizations that with Twitch, that's never gonna happen. And then I kind of shifted my mindset a bit, and I said, look, it's not what I wanted it to be, and that's fine. But it can be something else. It can be still fun and awesome. And so it's hard to predict what I'm gonna do, right? As long as it's fun, I'm gonna stream. When it's no longer fun, I'm not gonna stream. So, but I don't think that I will ever consciously like not do it. Because again, it's a hobby in a way, so I really enjoy it. But it's hard to kind of create a more specific plan, because it is very, besides meeting you guys, for example, which is the main value really. Besides that, like, there's no other, at least tangible value, except meeting people, making friends and stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, I wish that there were some other things as well where you can kind of justify. I mean, it is a lot of time you need to spend and you know, talk, and it takes a lot of energy, especially having kids and wife and full-time job, right? It's you're a natural presenter. Thank you very much, Baking Forest. I mean, I'm obviously an extrovert, and I love to talk. I love to share my opinion, but I also love to be challenged. I've learned in my life, and I have fortunately very nice colleagues at work. I've realized that the most amazing thing you can do in life is surround yourself by people that you disagree with, because the alternative is an echo chamber and stagnation. So for me, this stream is also a way to disagree, and hopefully, of course, I'm very pragmatic, and I am a bit harsh in a sense. You know, if you say X is better than Y, I would expect you to elaborate why or whatever. So I do ask basic questions that I think all of us should be able to respond. But I think it's good to have these types of kind of open discussions where I don't think there's nothing more awesome in life than disagreement, because, you know, sometimes, you know, we all come with predefined opinions on so many things. But when I disagree with my colleagues at work, you know what we all do? We say, look, we're not agreeing now. Let's all give it a thought for a bit, and then come back and talk again. And we do. And then it's so fascinating to see. Sometimes I go back to my friend and I'm like, man, you know what? I took a little bit of time. I thought about it, and you're actually right, or you're wrong, whatever. So this stream also, that's what I kind of want it to be. Just a place where people can think, and you know, I think that, yeah, that's how I see it, or that's how I want to. Have you experienced mental health issues or burnout from the activity? No, I have never experienced that, no. And I have never experienced that primarily because of my personal perception and continuous awareness how fortunate I am in life relative to so many people. So again, that's why often you're gonna hear me speak about perception so much, because no matter how hard it is for you in life or easy, there's always someone who has it way worse. And of course, I'm not saying that every single obstacle can be avoided by thinking of someone else. I'm not suggesting that, but also I think I try not to complain, and I try to remind myself of the things that I do have, not the things that I don't have, right? Because you can always not have things, and you will always lack something. So I try to focus. I have 2 amazing kids, a beautiful wife, a job that I like, and I would almost feel ashamed to be complaining. I mean, it would be just absolutely unacceptable. So that's kind of how I think about it. Do you think someone needs a CS degree to get a job as a programmer? No, you do not. I started learning web dev and just found your page. I don't understand anything you're talking about yet, but still enjoy your stream. George, thank you very much, man. Good that you found me, and I'm whenever I stream, and if you need a tip or whatever, please just ask. We all started somewhere, so congrats on starting. I mean, you know, some people never start, so that's a big thing. Just starting something is yeah. I think wait till people challenge things. I mean, it's also a good tool to confirm something. It does not always has to be against what most people assume, but actually good to see that there's some foundation. Again, I mean, the thing is, so the reason why, I don't know how many people are watching my stream right now. Let me check. I don't look at these numbers. So right now there's 50 people watching this stream. And the reason why I don't have 300 people watching this stream isn't because I suck. I believe I'm pretty fine, pretty average at what I do. So I think I can share a lot of knowledge. I've done so many things. The reason why I don't have 400 people watching or 300 is exactly because I'm not a content creator, and I'm not an entertainer, or I don't have hard opinions, right? So if you ever have an aspiration to be a content creator, you have to pick a couple of communities that you're going to satisfy and create an echo chamber and a confirmation bias for people to watch. And this is how majority of media works. Think about it. You have people who watch CNN, you have people who watch Fox News, you have people who watch this, you have people. So this is how the media works. This is not good. I'm not criticizing it by no means. It's more to say that if you want to underquote succeed in this type of area, whatever success means for you, you have to equip yourself with hard opinions. My content, if you can even call it content, is just a dude saying things that I believe at least are reasonable. And I don't think that that's necessarily what people seek for. So it's more about, like, if you want to be a content creator of some kind, you kind of need to find these niche groups and like satisfy whatever that group actually expects, right? And that is just how it works, and I'm aware of that, and I would never do that because I would be miserable. Just creating something for the sake of of having somebody give me $5, right? Never. So that is just how some of these things work, and you know, that is how it is. Okay, let's see. So yes, Alexander feed. I actually like this. I mean, I've spent most of the time chatting to you guys, but some incremental changes are better than none. So I'll take it as a win for sure. I'm actually very happy with this outcome. We kind of, yeah, I think this is awesome. I think this is pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Waking Forest, literally, that's what also makes the stream more enjoyable. I can architect things, spend time validating them, tell AI when it's wrong, and I can also chat with you. But as you can see, saying that AI is, I mean, again, as everything else, the hammer or a jigsaw can be terrible or amazing depending how you use it. So again, I believe that for us programmers, AI is exponentially more useful than for these non-technical people using vibe coding, because if you have these things, all of this stuff that we just did, I've done these things millions, probably million times. APIs, components, component composition. I can write this fucking library myself, right? And I actually did almost. So I don't find joy in that anymore. But where I do find that the joy is actually, you know, architecting it and stuff like that. What coder do you use? I use Cursor. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually now, just so we can test some of these states, we're gonna open our database and we're gonna clear this last sync thing. Where was that thing? Was it under user table? No, I think I had an RSS table. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, expires that. So let's actually nuke this. Let's nuke the text as well. Yeah. Let's apply that. Update success. Okay, good. Okay, if I refresh this now, yeah, very nice. Okay, good, great. I see. Okay, sure, let's give it a chance. I already see some things that it kind of failed a little bit with. That's fine. That's why we're here, to help it. So it's okay. Chantapa, I have no idea what that means, but I guess it means, hey Alex, how are you, my friend? Thank you for streaming, and I'm just gonna say welcome as well. Flanic, I don't think it will change soon. I think so actually, the reason why programming languages exist is because English is a very ambiguous, like our spoken natural languages are very ambiguous. They're not specific enough. And even though I hate to use word never, like never say never, I have a very hard time believing, after at least being in this industry for 2 decades myself, I have a hard time believing that you will ever write do this in English and it's going to do exactly what you thought, because that is exactly the problem. how do you project exactly your thought, not approximately, because approximation I accept, yes, that already is there, and that already for many people is good enough, right? So, but to be precise, you need a programming language, because that's where you can kinda tell exactly the computer, not approximately what to do, but exactly what to do, right? So I have a hard time believing that that's gonna change, right? Because that's why we have different languages, right? That's why we have sign languages. We have languages for deaf people. We have different types of languages that as humanity, nothing to do with programming languages, because they serve different purposes, right? So, you know, military uses sign languages with their hands. That's also a language, right? And they use that type of language because in a circumstance when they're in the battlefield, they can't yell at each other, right? They're like, you know, doing these types of things. So you can say like languages exist in many shapes and forms throughout humanity, and so does a programming language, because that language has to be specific with a machine, right? So it's our languages are ambiguous, and also we have a hard time as humanity expressing what it is that we actually want, right? Okay, what happens if I disconnect the feed, okay? Yeah, I actually can't do that, can I? What does it disconnect feed means? It's removed, okay? Ah, okay, so it just removes all the RSS articles from okay. Okay, fair enough. I mean, last thing that we could do here, right, is because we have Storybook in our core UI library that I developed over time, but let's actually say, lastly, let's create a Storybook stories for each state so I can ensure that it's all fine. So I think this kind of would, you could say, mark it almost as complete, with one exception whatsoever, that is that here, long ago I've said, actually no, I think it was, let's find it, what is it, pro complete, I'm just memorizing certain terms in my head, and then, so I think now what could be useful is that we kind of make this as part of setup wizard. So when you sign, we kind of ask a user, do you want to do this? And then I guess one of the next things that we can do for this sort of stuff is like build some sort of importers. So if you have this DevTO platform or some other platform, we can kind of build some sort of an importer. So if you want to move the programmer network, if you have posts there, we could kind of do that as well. Geo, if that thank you is for me, I don't know who it was for, but if it was me, man, of course, man, my pleasure. I don't know if you wrote that to me or someone else. What? What the hell? Add on TypeScript. What is this? Where is this? Why can't I search for it? What? Could not resolve storybook types. Huh, okay. I see, okay. I see. Silva, thank you very much for the follow, man. That's cool. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so I guess this front-end project needs some sort of a migration of Storybook or whatever. Let's actually take a look at that. Front-end Storybook. Oh, I see. Actually don't remember this sort of stuff. It's meaningless and useless and nobody cares. So let's just kind of go here. So let's see these versions. What was the command? I just keep refusing to memorize that, to put that in my muscle memory. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right, fuck it. I have some mismatch of types most likely. So let's most likely there's either a migration that I didn't run maybe from previous version, or there's just some. Let's see. But I suppose it's something we either have some extra dependencies or we're lacking some dependencies. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. True. Yeah. And we actually don't need that, which is fine. Let's take a look at that. So we have some dependencies which are not supported by the version of Storybook we're using. Wait, I'm not so sure about that though. Not so sure about that. Okay, actually that is correct, I suppose. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So what? Yeah, you see, so this is kind of why. So yeah, so this is so you can kind of clearly see that, and it's clear to me day by day. More I use the AI, so literally the plan mode should be the default mode, because AI is amazing when it gets guidance from you and me, and it's really bad when you just let it make these decisions. Let me just give you an arbitrary example. So we have upgraded the, let's say, Storybook in this context to the latest version, and it actually suggested that as well. And now it's saying, nah, this is a pre-release. Let me downgrade to version 8 because that's a stable. So it kind of starts making these idiotic decisions, right? Which make absolutely no sense. Like, I didn't ask you to do that. So this is why it's so important not to get frustrated with it, because it can be very frustrating to just not let it think too much, right? It literally just like needs to be very well guided, and when it's guided, it's amazing. But when you let it roam on its own too much, it really starts getting very annoying, right? So that is, I don't know if I can make the plan mode default somehow. Can I a cursor make plan mode default? Default mode, yes, nice, here it is. Default mode plan, beautiful. Beautiful, good, great, okay, very good, very good. Is there any other setting that we should change? Text size, auto clear, chat, max tab count, queue messages, start agent review, commit, automatically review changes for issues after each commit, web search tool, browser protection, tab, partial accepts, MCPs, we have some, browser automation. Okay, let's try now, by the way. Okay. All right. Yeah, but oh yeah, I mean, okay. I know. All good. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna edit the main file. Yeah, exactly. It needs to remove these add-ons from here. That's the thing, yeah. Jesus Christ, come on. All right, good. What? Okay. All right? Good, good, it's good. Yes, 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 then. All right, so finally, okay. Now we need to be able to, okay. So now we can check a couple of states, validation error, generic error. Please verify your domain ownership via DNS-TXT record. So this is kind of where we fail, I think. Never mind, actually, it is written. Make sure your RSS feed is using version 2.0. You must verify domain ownership via DNS-TXT record. Articles will sync automatically at 3 a.m. Needs manual tagging. Small import. Okay. So okay, I can round it up here. It's 11:30 and then so p.m. So we can kind of push this bad boy and continue another time when we have more time. Let's just actually make sure that we didn't do any crazy major updates here. So it's mostly minor updates as far as I can see. So that's very good. Vite was also updated. Nice. vtest. Okay. Actually, only one thing I would like to try is how do I enable React compiler thing. So how do we, did anyone here who is still here try actually the React compiler? This is the biggest change to React ever. It's a bubble plugin. Okay, very weird. Okay, I would not expect that, but okay. Okay, so there is this one. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. Do you guys think we should try it? I mean, it's a very high risk change. It's a very high risk change. But if it works, it would be awesome change, right? So I guess we need to install the Babel plugin, right? Yeah. And let's give it a shot. This is insane, insane, insane change. Will AI kill off this industry? I don't know how to respond to that, my friend. Nobody knows what AI is going to do on this earth, including myself, so I can share my opinion with you if that means something to you. But opinions are like assholes, everybody has one, so it really is meaningless. It's kind of meaningless, right, to discuss it in a way, because like, I mean, unless you kind of want to hear it for a specific reason, like if you have a reason why you want to hear it. So it really boils down to what it is that you want to hear, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What can I tell you? I can tell you some opinions there, but again, does it really matter to you or not is relevant. AI is already making massive changes to every industry, and teams are becoming a lot smaller, but like Jaco BK said, you know, maybe we're gonna create more jobs in different companies, but I can tell you that teams are definitely becoming smaller because teams can now accomplish more than they could before. So yeah. Well, what are you gonna change to, man? I mean, the thing is, you have to understand one thing, that if AI replaces something as complex as engineering, then what do you think that it's going to do to other things, right? You have to think about it a bit rationally. So if you think that AI is going to replace one of the most complex jobs ever for humanity, intellectually and cognitively, what do you think then? What are you going to do different then? Unless you're going to become a carpenter or do some physical work, I mean, what it is that you're going to go to? You understand? So like, the question isn't whether things are going to change. Things are going to change for sure, and they have already changed, and they will continue to change. But these are very like doomsayers types of reactions, right? Like, what are you going to change to? I mean, imagine what's going to then do to other industries. It's gonna be way worse than for engineers. So what are you going to then switch to? Are you going to become an accountant? Imagine what's going to happen to customer success, to all of the other things, right? So, I mean, you cannot live your life like that in fear, right? Change is a constant thing. Change is always have been around, and change is going to always be there. So you cannot just make these emotional decisions every time there's a change, right? Things will change forever. I mean, again, if you ever have doubts that engineering is going to be completely obsoleted, that's fine. Just ask yourself, what the hell do you think is going to happen to us? Whenever I go to LinkedIn, these people are hilarious. Like, you have people from marketing talking about the doom of programmers. Is like, you know, so it's like ridiculous, right? It's insane. I mean, like, you know, my senior coworker is a big doomer. Well, you should then, yeah. I don't know, man. Either way, like, these are the things that are impossible to know. Only thing that's certain and always has been a change. So, you know, try to learn new things every day, and nothing will replace you, right? That's just how it has been always throughout history. Nothing new. You're gonna hear the main reason why I don't want to give you the concrete response to that, right, is because if you go to YouTube, if you go to any of the platforms, you will get vastly different opinions on it. So then the question is, why would I even give you any opinion? Because it's meaningless. Because you can hear the opposite opinion on mine in 2 minutes elsewhere. And when there are so many opposing opinions, then the opinion actually is meaningless to me. Right, so if I tell you one thing, you can invalidate that in 3 seconds by asking someone else. And at the end of the day, the answer that you're going to accept is probably going to be the one that you're more biased for. So you know, and I mean, right, but what I can see, I can just tell you what I see. And what I see is that for sure we already hire way less, and we already need less people. That I use Arc. Very cool, man. You're using an operating system. That is a massive accomplishment in life. I'm starting to study software engineering next year. Any tips for me? Yeah, make friends as you go. Focus on building connections throughout your university. And be kind and humble, and know that your diploma means nothing without knowledge. Because there's millions of people who have diploma. So having a diploma is not a not really anything special. Like it would only be special if very few people had it, because everybody has it almost. So yeah, be kind and make friends along the way, because these very friends will be your references. They will help you find a job. So fundamentally, yeah. Yeah. I mean, dev. That's the same like everyone else, right? We share very similar experience, at least years wise, and it is the same, right? Jonathan Martin, hey man, thank you very much for that's very kind of you, man. I'm very happy to hear that. How do you stay consistent? I mean, I don't think there's really anything to be consistent with, right? I mean, if you learn core principles of programming, the core fundamental patterns and everything, it's really not much to stay consistent with. Just see what the community is doing. Use the tools to. I mean, I think your question, I would maybe rephrase your question just slightly to be less technical. I would more formulate it such as, how do I empower myself better? How can I empower myself always to produce more? And that would mean like seeking for ways to do that, right? So I wouldn't even necessarily say per se like, how do I, like follow new technologies or whatever. It's more like, how do I just empower myself to be better, right? So I don't do anything special. I mean, I still use the same tools I used 10 years ago, and they're still amazing, and they still work, and they're still very popular. So I think people, so at least I hear it on this very stream, people over-exaggerate. I don't think that like people over-exaggerate like JavaScript environment as well. It's like JS change. No, JavaScript doesn't change, man. React is still the most popular library. Node.js is still very popular, so is PHP, so is so many other things. So I think people just very often talk crap, like, oh, every day I have to learn something new. That's absolutely not true. You don't have to learn anything new. You just have to focus on the outcomes of the value of, and focus on being a good person and easy to work with. Focus on other skills than just programming, focusing on how do I communicate with people, how do I share ideas, how do I convince people of my ideas, etc., etc. So there's so many things all of us can get better at, and programming is just a tiny part of our everyday jobs. So that's it. I would much rather say, if you're a senior or getting to be one, focus more on other skills than programming skills, because programming skills in your career will just get you up until a certain point. Like, I work in a technical management, technical leadership, and if you want to be a technical leader, you're not going to become technical leader because you know how to program or write code. That almost has very little significance. The way that you're going to become a leader is by learning how to work with people, how to convey your ideas, how to convince people, how you solve issues with people, etc., etc., right? So, what? What the fuck? Chess won't be a thing in like 3 months. Trust me, I'm an expert on this stuff. I trust you, man. I just don't know, how come you... I mean, I don't know... I don't know why you wrote that. I mean, we're not playing chess here, but I mean, yeah, if that's what you're saying, then that's great. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do I read the AI news? No, not really. No. I mostly don't read news. It's mostly useless and meaningless, and it's a bunch of opinions, right? So I like to, in most cases, like to formulate my own opinions through experience rather than through, because news always have something. What the fuck is happening, man? It's always about the outcome outplayed. I mean, if you're reading these news, that's great, but you need to, I mean, if they provide some value to you, then that's great. Then you can probably answer then why you're reading them at the first place, right? So I would say that for me, I don't find any value in it because it's a bunch of opinions, right? As I was saying a couple of minutes ago, it's meaningless to tell people what do I think that AI is going to do, because there's too many contradicting opinions that at the end of the day it just becomes like ridiculous to even discuss. I mean, is AI gonna do this? I mean, who the hell knows what's gonna happen? Like, and and even if you did know, what would you do, right? Let's say now in theory that Flanick, likewise, man. Thank you very much for being here, dude. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. Good to meet you, and I'm very happy you found my stream. Yeah, I mean, I get that outplayed, but you're not, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't know, like, what is the outcome of that? How does that affect you? That's what I mean. Like, that's all cool, and it's more about, like, that's all great, man, and let's imagine you're correct on that. What is the point that you're trying to make? That's more that I'm trying to ask here. Like, what it is that you're saying, you know? Because that's great, man, and cool and stuff. It's just how does that affect you? That's what I mean. You get what I mean? Like, how does that changing your life? Unless you're investing. I mean, if you're investing and if you're making money, then, for example, that would be a valid answer. Okay, Alex, I am investing and it helps me invest and sell my shares, whatever. The most underrated skill, taking ideas from your head and making others believe in them. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Definitely. I mean, a lot of leadership skills are very, very valuable. I agree. Yeah, exactly. Outplayed. So, I mean, I'm not suggesting that you function in the same way as I do. It's just I don't deal with things that have no impact on my life, right? Like, did Nvidia sell every single share or zero? Literally changes my life, doesn't change my life in any shape or form. So it's just it doesn't make sense for me to waste time in that. If it had some impact, if I had money to invest in stuff, sure, I would probably care about it. But because I don't, it's kind of meaningless to me. It changes nothing, right? They can sell their whole company or fail tomorrow. It would not affect my life in any way, right? So that's why I don't follow, oh, did Microsoft fire this many people? I mean, what do I have to do with that? I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me or my family or whatever, right? So exactly. I mean, we're already, all of us, so cognitively and heavily overloaded in life, right? That it's due to the life itself that spending energy in places that you can't really that is basically a stoicism, right? Is like, that is the core of the Stoic philosophy, right? Focus on the things you can control or you can do something about, Otherwise, you're just wasting your time on things, on large-scale issues that nobody is asking you about in the first place, right? So fundamentally, it's just like there's so many things that today that we have to spend our energy on, and which means you really need to be careful that you don't spend it on things that are just draining your energy, right? So you know, it's just like being selective to protect yourself, because you know. Isn't that minimalism too? No, I don't think so. Minimalism is something else, right? I would say that, yeah, I mean, I would say that literally, I mean, it's such a simple rule. Like, I think there's so many of these rules. It doesn't matter how they're called, which era, epoch they exist, or who invented them. They're very simple rules. I mean, I think asking a question every day, hey, these things that I'm dealing with that are bothering me, can I do anything about them? I think this is a super fair question. If every human being would be that self-aware every day, I believe that even asking that arbitrary question would change lives of many, right? So it's like if you could kind of incorporate this type of thought process into your everyday living, I think objectively that for many people, lives would be just better. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, life can really be simple if you wire yourself to have these thought process. Like, can I do something about it? No. Okay, let me put my energy into something that can better myself and make me better than I was yesterday. And this is ultimately, I think, the secrecy of successful people. Always, and this is not something that I'm suggesting to be an obsession. You don't have to live your life just to be better. You have to enjoy your life as well. But if you could raise a simple question every day, am I better than I was yesterday? Did I learn something new today that I didn't know yesterday? This is a great way to live the life, right? Because then you're focused on yourself and things you can control versus looking at things that you have no control about, right? That's kind of at least how I like to look at things, right? Don't you want to be informed or like have a general picture about computer science? That is different. I mean, but you were talking now about that has nothing to do with. I don't see a correlation outplayed between Nvidia losing stock and being. Do you watch Fireship? No. And sometimes if YouTube recommends it to me, yeah, but typically I don't. No. Because this information kind of always kind of bubbles up anyway towards all of us, because I use most of these technologies, so I kind of keep track of the technologies that I use. So that, and things that I don't use, I don't follow, basically. So I'm gonna read news about Kubernetes, about React, about Golang, about nodejs, about infrastructure, basically things that I use. Things that I don't use, it's meaningless to read about, because if correlates as if bubble happenings would affect the industry, for example. Yeah, but again, what can you do about it? That's my question. Let's imagine it does affect the industry. So what? Like, what am I supposed to do? That's the core question, right? I mean, why does it matter, right? What would I do then? Would I like? What can I do? You get what I mean? So I mean, like it doesn't in any reasonable way change my behavior. So it's more about, it doesn't matter if it does or not. What would I do? Nothing, right? What can I do? You know. That's why I say, to me personally, it makes no difference. Yeah. All right. Well, it was fun. Thank you guys. It's getting late. Outplayed, of course. Thank you for coming, man. It's an interesting discussion always. It's just I've been streaming now for how long? 3 hours. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. That's a lot of streaming. Let me just accept some people who added me to LinkedIn. Accept. let's continue this discussion outplayed, but thank you guys. Thank you very much. Exactly. Pretty much like that. It's just being yeah, agreed, man. Agreed. All right, everybody. YouTube, Twitch. Thank you very much, guys. It's been really fun with you. You guys make me coming back to stream because it's really fun when we have these discussions, agreeing, disagreeing, and stuff. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you guys some other time. Okay. If you haven't, please sign up on Programming Network. I would really appreciate it. It takes like 3 seconds. And besides that, have a great day, have a great night. And Josh, I'm going to read it and leave a comment. So thank you very much, man. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. Cheers. See you tomorrow, Max. Bye-bye. Have a good one.